You want to know the major theme that I'm seeing in the divorce industry as a divorce lawyer as I do consults these days? I am seeing working moms doing it all. And I'm seeing the husbands step back and say, I don't got to do a thing. She's got the kids, she's got the groceries, she's got the laundry, she's got the meals, she's got the work. And by the way, she's making all the money and she's paying for the house and doing everything else. I'm going to go to the firehouse, I'm going to go play this, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. That's the theme. And women are tired.
So lovely, so I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where a lot of people are reacting to the fact that marriage actually benefits the woman the most. And I was able to put out some of the stitches from professors. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
I don't know why most of you men keep asking how marriage favors men or benefits men and does not benefit women. As a man, I want you to list the benefits of marriage for women. Even though I have shared this multiple times, here we go. Marriage benefits men more than it benefits women. Married men live longer and are more healthier than unmarried men. If you are a married man, your wife will schedule your annual medical appointment and make sure you attend. Even if you're sick and you don't want to go to the hospital like most men, your wife will push you to go seek medical help, and oftentimes that will save your life and extend your life. And so married men are healthier and live longer compared to unmarried men. Also, married men enjoy career stability and increased income over time. As a man, when you get your wife pregnant, it doesn't stop your life. You are able to perform at work, and the things that indicate promotion and higher income at work is what? Productivity. And so married men are still able to have a family. It doesn't affect their lives, and they are able to go to work, perform, and therefore they enjoy career stability and increased income over time. Married women, on the other hand, are more stressed. They sleep less, they have a reduced income, and they have a lower life expectancy compared to single women. Like we all know, women are the primary caregivers. As a woman, if you get pregnant, you would take time off the job. And when women take time off the job for maternity leave, it affects their productivity, and therefore their career stagnates and their income reduces over time. As a result, very few married women or mothers have solid careers. Most married women or mothers tend to have what we call seasonal work or part-time work. Women dominate what we call precarious employment. That is employment that does not pay any form of benefits and insurance, because women are the primary caregivers. They take care of their children, and to a large extent end up taking care of their elderly parents and family members. Also, married women take care of the domestic work, and therefore they are more stressed. They also handle the emotional labor in the relationship. These are the reasons why we say that marriage benefits men more than it benefits women. I have several videos on my page sharing this, but you consistently ask. So this is for all the men. Please outline the benefits that women get in marriage. I will conclude by sharing a video by an American psychiatrist, Daniel Amen. He talks about the benefits of marriage for men and how marriage is a deficit to women. My name is Dr. Zita. I am a sociologist. I only share the facts. If you're not following, guess what? Hit the follow button.
You said that married men live typically longer than single men. Married women don't typically live longer than single women, and in fact, we probably die earlier.
Men live longer because she makes them go to the doctor. She yells at him when he's texting while he's driving. I mean, it's like she's the supervisor. She's the super ego, if you will. And they're taking care of their brood. Mm-hmm. Women live less long because of the chronic stress from men.
I believe there are many reasons why cishet marriages are on the decline. And I'm not going to talk about all of them. But one thing I do think that has become very present to most women and men is that marriage is a safety net for men. And it creates essentially a village around him to prop him up. And for women, it is a risk. Marriage comes with risk. And the reason I say that, and it's not always the case, there's obviously nuance, but when you get married to a man and tie up your finances with him and have children with him, you take on a level of risk. Because typically, women are the ones who leave the workforce to care for children. Women are the ones whose careers take a back seat to their male counterparts. Women are the ones who are left without financial security when they stay at home with their children. Women incur a risk. They also incur a risk to their mental health, their emotional health, right? When you marry a male partner and he expects you to prop him up and to support him, to carry the mental load, to do all the domestic labor, to prioritize his career, to bear children for him, then you are viewed as a tool to his success. And in like historical cishet relationships, it didn't flow both ways. I think there's tons of marriages where it does, and that's, mine is one of them. But it's not common for everybody to have that type of dynamic. To have a partnership that truly does flow both ways, where you both have financial security, where you both have emotional security, where you both have ample opportunity and support to achieve what it is you want to achieve. So there's tons of data around the fact that men who are married live longer and women who are married live shorter lives, and women who are single live longer lives. Women who are single tend to be happier, right? There are these statistics, and men who are single are less happy. And there's also statistics around men following a divorce or the death of a partner getting married very quickly, whereas women will stay single for longer. Because marriage, traditional marriage, was built around men and creating success and happiness for them, but it was not centered around women. And so they are less happy in traditional marriages. And so that is why I talk so much about finding equity in a relationship. That is why I advocate for women to always have some sort of social safety nets around them, because marriage does come with risk. And that might sound negative, but I believe in the institution of marriage if it works for you and your partner. I am obviously married, but I do think it comes with a risk. I have taken more hits to my career and to my mental health becoming a parent and a wife than I believe my partner has. And that's not his fault, but I think that is societal. It is, our world is built for and about and in support of men. And marriage is a part of that.
Talk about the benefits of marriage to a man, right? Specifically to a man. And Ezekiel, help me out. Let's pop it off right here.
Yeah.
What would you say for you personally? How has marriage as a man benefited you?
Oh man, it's too many. I would just say this as a man, and you guys will know as single men, there is this sense of freedom that we have to feel like, hey, I can be an individual, I can pursue, I can grind hard, and I have nobody to answer to. And we think that is the fullness of who we are until you meet someone that is able to be a mirror for you, to challenge you in areas where you didn't think you needed to grow, to challenge you in areas where only someone else could actually compliment and build you up in. I realized that, man, there are areas as far as my sensitivity and my ability to process, in areas where I thought I was wise, I thought I knew better. My wife came along and she showed me my blind spots. I realized how selfish I could be, how inconsiderate I could be, how immature I could be in certain areas, and even areas where I needed to heal that I did not know that I needed to heal. It wasn't until I ran up against the wall of her honesty and her ability to see through and in me that I was even able to realize that I need to grow. So I do believe that there are single men out here content in their brokenness. No one has been able to confront those areas of brokenness. Nobody's been able to confront those areas of void. And they've somehow been able to manage or mismanage and walk around with a self-defense mechanism that they call personality. They're like, I'm like this because this. I'm like this because no, you built this up because you went through this. You built this up because you don't want to go through this. You saw your dad do this and you want to avoid this, and you become this caricature and you say, that's me. Nah, that's pieces of your brokenness that you've glued together and you call it yourself. And you realize why certain people are highlighting areas of your life that you think are okay. Like you can't stay in relationships. When things happen, you escape, leave things, you move around. You can't deal with authority here and there. You can't take this. You can't talk to your brother. You don't talk to your dad, and you don't know what these things are. And sometimes you have a friend. I call a wife a friend. If you can't find a friend in her that's able to show you, hey, you're really impatient. You're afraid in this area. Have you ever had someone that just look you in the eye and say, I could tell you're afraid here. Like, I could tell that you need to grow here, or that's an area of immaturity. And when you have that 24-hour accountability, someone you can't escape, you wake up with them, they see you at your worst, see you at your best, so they could love you at your worst and love you through your best. I think that there's an aspect of growth that you will miss unless you have that person that walks through life, through the most intimate and darkest parts of life with you.
You want to know the major theme that I'm seeing in the divorce industry as a divorce lawyer as I do consults these days? I am seeing working moms doing it all. And I'm seeing the husbands step back and say, I don't got to do a thing. She's got the kids, she's got the groceries, she's got the laundry, she's got the meals, she's got the work. And by the way, she's making all the money and she's paying for the house and doing everything else. I'm going to go to the firehouse, I'm going to go play this, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. That's the theme. And women are tired.
Name one benefit that a man gets from marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
Well, I think, as a woman, if you're...
I'm asking you as a man, since you're, attacking men for being Peter Pan.
I think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
but name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that woman is not going to be loyal to you.
The answer is there's none. You're dancing around it. There is none.
So, the argument is that there are zero benefits for men to get married. I was tagged in this video, and here's what I will say because I know it will challenge some of you. And yes, I took a few good shots to the Moneymaker sparring earlier today, and that's why I'm a little marked up. Anyways, let's get into it. When a man invests himself in a marriage, he exposes himself to the vulnerability and the responsibility that marriage requires. That places him in a position of ownership and masculinity unlike anything he would experience in a regular relationship, where he can keep one foot out the door, where he can feel safe and can leverage the uncommitment of that position. That is a man seeking power and safety, not partnership and sacrifice. Being a husband calls a man to a higher standard of behavior, commitment, and risk than being a boyfriend. And if you really think deeply about it, that in and of itself is a benefit to a man. I think it is also important to ask ourselves, what is the best possible foundation to build a home and a family upon? I think that this conversation, especially in the contexts that Fresh and Fit insist on arguing with 19-year-old sex workers over 24/7, is all about materialism, power, money, selfishness above everything else. Marriage requires a man to put his money and his commitment where his mouth is. Does it generally require the same from women? No, it does not. But as much as marriage at face value, or more accurately, financial value, seems to benefit only women, women also never get their time back. So if a woman spends her 20s in a relationship or marriage, she can't get that back. And according to these guys, once a woman is in her 30s, she is worthless. On top of that, women also don't get their bodies back after they've had kids with you. And we all know how these guys talk about women with kids. So if you really think about it, who is actually risking more by being in a long-term relationship? So are you guys really out here expecting women to give up all of their limited time and their bodies, and you still won't marry them? So you expect her to take on all the risk. Another fun fact, statistically, women fare worse after divorce financially and relationally than men. Imagine that. These guys are literally advocating for the type of man who never commits, whose provision and protection are conditional tools of leverage for a woman's absolute obedience. They also believe that men should be allowed to cheat. Is that the picture of a man that men should aspire to emulate? Is that your idea of the pinnacle of masculinity? Is that the type of man that you want for your daughters and for your sisters and for your mothers? Is that the type of man who makes a good father? No. And do any of you ever bother to ask yourself why none of these hyper-successful 1%er alpha males of the internet ever align with or marry one of the young, conservative, fine, fit, friendly, and submissive women that they go on and on about women needing to be more like? Wouldn't you expect all of the rare, amazing women that do exist to be lining up for such rare, successful, amazing provider, protector men? Think about that twice. So why are we listening to this? Because it confirms biases, it strokes egos, it triggers the biological us versus them survival centers in our brains. Most of the people in the conversation actually come from broken homes and broken marriages and single mothers and absent fathers. And maybe y'all need to start taking accountability and start listening to the people who got it right rather than listening to the garbage that just validates the garbage that you came from. Marriage is not about what you are trying to get out of another person. It is about what you are willing to give. What you get is a byproduct of what you invest. Some more fun facts. Married men are statistically far more wealthy than non-married men. 84% of millionaires are married. 68% of them are in their first marriage, and like 90% of them didn't even make their first million until after 50 years old. So do the math. They got married and then they built their wealth together. Oh, and men with high IQs are more likely to get married than men with low IQs. I imagine we will find a few of the latter in the comments. All of that said, I say this as a man who is not married yet. Marriage should not be taken lightly. It can either define you or destroy you. It is the most important decision that you will make in your life. And I don't know about you, but I would never advise someone to get into a plane where there is a 50% chance of it crashing and over 80% of the time being due to the pilot's decisions, which is the current divorce statistics with women representing the pilot, which is a stat that obviously is not so black and white, but it also should not be brushed over. So the next conversation might be, should prenups be the new standard for men seeking to get married in the modern world? It may not be romantic, but maybe it's necessary.
Seriously, lovelies, this kind of topic really need to be talked about often because, there has been a very high percentage rate of, divorce, people getting separated from their partners, people getting divorced, people no longer want to be in a relationship. Especially women are now opting out. Women just want to live. It is said that the highest percentage of divorce is being influenced by a woman. Like, a woman just wants to get divorced and stay on her own. When I saw most of these stitches, and I decided to just read up the comment section to see what women have to say about it, it was so shocking that a lot of women were like, they became very happy and undepressed after they, got divorced and become single. Like, I was like, what is really happening? And with all of the stitches I was able to put together, I found out that a lot of, married couple, especially the men, tend to leave everything for the women. Now, the way at which the society is run, and the way at which things have gotten so high and pricey, women are automatically, meant to go work as well, like the 50-50 thing. The 50-50 thing, and also the way at which, contributions are being done in the family. So a lot of women tend to actually complain by the way at which these men tend to leave everything for them, as like they end up leaving everything with them, or for them to run as a woman. Like, women are really getting tired. They are meant to take care of kids. They are meant to do the school runs. They are meant to take care of the house. They are meant to cook. They are meant to clean. Some men cannot even clean after themselves. Some men leave most of these things for women to do. And before you know it, this woman is also providing. So all the things that the man has to do is just to provide his own part of 50 and go out with the guys or with the boys to go relax and chill while this woman is home alone with the children. I know exactly the stress that comes with raising kids, the stress that comes with raising children, you know. But these men are so inconsiderate with the fact that, you know, they allow these women to do all of this. And this is why the woman was like, they take care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of everything, still provide, and still take care of a grown-ass man. Like, seriously. This is why it's as if there is a lot of high rate of divorce, and men or women are actually fighting for this divorce. And a lot of people have been saying this for a long time, which sometimes I was like, how true is this? A lot of people have this impression that marriage actually favors men, but when you're looking at it, it's as if it's true. What am I even saying? It's true. It favors men. Because these men, when they get married, they automatically have a woman in their life to care for them, yeah? To actually, you know, cook for them, clean for them, bath them, do everything for them. And this woman will still, you know, fix the house, you know, take care of the kids. But when these men are bachelors, you know, you see these men, they are the ones, you know, washing their own dishes, washing their own clothes, making their own food, and all of that. But in terms of marriage, they tend to have all of those privileges. They tend to forget that they are supposed to actually clean up, you know, after themselves. Some men don't do that. I am not disputing the fact that there are still responsible, thinkable men out there who at least support their wife or their partner one way or the other. But I'm talking about these other ones that's made the high rates of, you know, divorce to actually skyrocket. I am not disputing the fact that there are some men who still acknowledge and try as much as they can to help out. I have been seeing a lot of content where men help, you know, trying to pass this message across, but it's as if some people are so adamant and they don't want to listen to the same message that's being passed across. It's one thing to be happily married. It's another thing to actually share all of your, you know, worries, stress together. But a lot of men, you know, tend to like, you know, allow this woman to run everything while he's out there with the boys, going up drinking, you know, hanging out, having chance to also meet or chill with other women. That is why you will see a lot of, some men that cheat in a relationship, they cheat in a relationship because they have time. Because this woman that they are married to is so occupied taking care of children and taking care of the house, so there's no more time. Then he's not looking for someone outside who does not have such responsibility, who, you know. But instead of them to help out with this, their wives, to run the house, you know, if it's 50-50, make it 50-50 everywhere. 50-50 should not be only for, you know, a financial aspect of it. 50-50 should be both taking care of kids, taking care of their house and all of that. If they do this, I don't think any man will have time to start running around or looking for any other women. Anyway, at least, why don't you just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any bullying and harassment. We're just here to educate ourselves in terms of relationship, marriage, and what have you. Please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.